Imagine a world where the map of global trade is redrawn. For over a century, the Panama Canal has been a vital shortcut between oceans. Now China is backing a $50 billion project to build a larger canal in Nicaragua. This isn't just engineering. It's a bold move to shift global power. The world is watching. Success could reshape trade and politics, but controversy and delays raise big questions. Are we on the verge of a new era in global trade? The dream of connecting oceans by cutting through land is as old as civilization. The Suez Canal, completed in 1869, linked the Mediterranean to the Red Sea, transforming global trade. Inspired by Suez, attention turned to Central America. A canal here would eliminate the perilous voyage around Cape Horn. The French tried first in Panama in the 1880s, but failed due to disease and engineering challenges. The United States, under President Theodore Roosevelt, took over and succeeded, opening the Panama Canal in 1914. It was a triumph of American engineering and a monumental geopolitical victory. For a century, the canal gave the U.S. a powerful lever over global maritime trade and military movement. Even after Panama regained control in 1999, the canal's importance endured. In 2016, Panama expanded the canal to accommodate larger ships, securing its relevance. Canals are never just about commerce, they're about power, influence, and the ambition of nations. This is the legacy China's new project seeks to challenge. The stakes are high, and history shows that whoever controls the shortcut controls the flow of global power. Now, a new chapter is about to be written. China's proposed Nicaragua Canal is a 172-mile waterway connecting the Caribbean to the Pacific, far larger than Panama's. The route leverages Lake Nicaragua, the region's largest lake, making up a significant portion of the transit. The motivation scale. The world's biggest ships, post-Panamax and beyond, are too large for Panama, even after its expansion. China's plan is to build a canal wide and deep enough for these giants, directly competing for the most lucrative shipping traffic. The $50 billion project, led by HK&D Group, includes media, construction site for deepwater port, aerial view of seaport construction, 2 deepwater ports, a new airport, free trade zones, and more. For Nicaragua, one of the hemisphere's poorest countries, the promise is economic transformation. Why Nicaragua? Its geography makes the project technically feasible. And for China, it's a strategic opportunity to gain influence in Central America. By financing and building the canal, Beijing secures a trade route independent of US-influenced Panama. It's a bold play in the great game of global trade and power. The world is watching to see if this vision becomes reality. The stakes could not be higher. The Nicaragua Canal's $50 billion price tag makes it one of history's most ambitious infrastructure projects. Funding comes from a consortium led by HK&D, headed by Chinese mogul Wang Jing. Raising such capital for a project with so many uncertainties has fueled skepticism. The Nicaraguan government remains committed, touting completed studies and technical designs, but major construction has yet to begin. HK&D holds a 50-year concession, extendable to 100 years, a controversial move in Nicaragua. In exchange, the project promises jobs and billions in economic growth. HK&D claims the canal could capture 5% of global maritime trade within a decade. Delays and lack of transparency have plagued the project. The original completion date has long passed. Wang Jing's fortune suffered in China's 2015 stock crash, casting doubt on the project's future. Yet, renewed interest from Chinese state-owned firms in 2024 suggests Beijing may step in directly. If China backs the canal, its strategic importance could outweigh financial setbacks. The world is watching for signs of real progress. If completed, the Nicaragua Canal would reshape the Western Hemisphere's geopolitical landscape. For over a century, the U.S. has dominated the region, symbolized by its control of the Panama Canal. A Chinese-financed canal would be the most significant challenge to that dominance in modern history. It would give China a strategic and economic foothold, just miles from U.S. shores. Nicaragua's future would be tied to China, potentially shifting regional alliances. Other Central American nations would face a choice: align with the U.S. or embrace China's economic opportunities. The canal could become a fault line, dividing the region and increasing tension. For global trade, 2 canals mean competition, lower fees, and more resilient supply chains. A second canal offers redundancy, crucial if Panama is disrupted. But risks abound. The U.S. would view a Chinese-operated canal with suspicion, fearing military use. This could spark a new Cold War dynamic in the Caribbean. The canal may become a strategic choke point where superpower interests collide. A few hundred miles of waterway could redraw the world's strategic map. Experts see the Nicaragua Canal as a high-risk, high-reward gamble. Dr. Jean-Paul Rodriguez, a leading maritime logistics expert, notes the economic case isn't as clear-cut as backers claim. Panama's expansion already increased capacity, capturing much of the market for larger ships. The key question: is there enough demand for two massive canals so close together? Shipping lines are conservative. Convincing them to shift to a new, unproven route will be tough. The Nicaragua Canal must outperform Panama in reliability, efficiency, and cost, a tall order. Operational risks are significant given the canal's length and complexity. Geopolitically, the project may be driven more by strategy than economics. For China, $50 billion could be a price worth paying for a strategic trade route and influence. The canal fits China's Belt and Road vision, a global network of trade and partnerships. Success hinges on unwavering Chinese state backing. Private investors alone won't take the risk. If Beijing makes this a national priority, the canal's chances rise, and so do the stakes for global trade. The world must prepare for a new player in the geopolitics of commerce. The outcome could redefine global trade routes for decades. The Nicaragua Canal's environmental and social costs are immense. The route cuts through sensitive ecosystems, including Lake Nicaragua, a vital freshwater source and home to unique species. Environmentalists warn of ecological catastrophe from dredging, ship traffic, and potential oil spills. Tens of thousands of people, many indigenous and small farmers, face displacement. The government's broad powers to expropriate land have sparked protests and human rights concerns. Proponents argue economic benefits outweigh the costs, promising modern engineering and fair compensation. But skepticism runs deep, given the project's lack of transparency and public consultation. For Nicaragua, the promise of doubling GDP is tempting, but at what cost? The debate is about more than economics. It's about values, rights, and the true price of development. The world must weigh prosperity against the preservation of people and nature. Panama hasn't stood still in the face of a potential rival. Its $5.25 billion canal expansion in 2016 was a preemptive move to handle larger ships and secure its competitiveness. Panama's strategy upgrades services, improve efficiency, and cement its role as the America's logistics hub. Officials tout Panama's century-long track record of reliability and safety. The ACP administrator argues Panama offers a shorter, faster, less complex transit than Nicaragua's proposed route. Panama is investing in ports, logistics, and financial services to create an integrated ecosystem. Some experts believe both canals could coexist, serving different market segments. Panama for containers, Nicaragua for the largest bulk carriers. This could diversify and strengthen regional shipping, but competition will be fierce. The winner will offer the best mix of price, speed, reliability, and safety. Panama has a head start, but China's financial muscle is formidable. The battle for the world's most important shortcut is just beginning. As of September 2025, the Nicaragua Canal remains a grand vision, caught between ambition and reality. The project faces skepticism, financial hurdles, and fierce opposition, yet the idea endures. The next few years are critical. China's direct involvement could turn vision into reality. A new canal would mean more options and resilience, but also more complexity and political tension. Central America's economic map would be redrawn, and the U.S. would face a strategic challenge in its own hemisphere. This isn't just about infrastructure, it's about the future of our interconnected world. The fate of this project will affect the price of goods, global security, and the balance of power. The Nicaragua Canal forces us to ask, how do we balance progress with protection? Who decides the price of development? These are defining questions for our era. The world is changing, and projects like this signal a new era. The decisions made today will echo for a century. Are we ready for what comes next?